Good morning, friends. It's Bob again, bringing you another reflection on, loving and forgiving and reconciling, and these things all kind of go together. And so I want to just continue to extrapolate on this idea of how we actually cultivate a life where we, as Jude 21 says, we keep ourselves in the love of God. And here's the kind of idea is that you keep yourself in the love of God, you stay secure, you build a relationship where you are moving and sitting and resting and moving in and among the love that God has for you. Then you have gas in the tank. Then you're able to love others well, which is kind of the point, is that you receive love, you give love, you receive love, you give love, you receive love, you give love. And so that 1 John 4:19 kind of idea of we love because he loved us first, that he's the one who initiated this whole thing. But how do you keep yourself in God's love? Because a lot of times it's like, oh, well, all right, yeah, Bob, but what do I do? What kinds of practices can I cultivate that actually will help me keep myself in God's love so that I can become a person who loves well? So let me start out with, I want to see if I can cover three first time, and then we'll go on from there. Firstly, I have found that, and the scripture actually says that singing actually has something to do with it in many cases, that we, in Colossians chapter 3:16, Ephesians 5:19 and 20, singing and making melody in your heart, singing to one another, making melody in your heart, that there's this whole idea of that when we sing, that we sing about what God has done. We sing back to him our appreciation of his love for us. We sing to him. And as we sing of that love, I could sing of your love forever. This is the air I breathe. All of these different kinds of things. When we sing those things, something comes alive within us. And it's not just something that we do when we're with all the saints on Sunday morning. It's something we can do throughout the week, that we sing and we make melody in our hearts and we enter into the love of God by singing it back, by singing of his love, by singing to him and experiencing that. And I think that there's something really unique about when we sing, that our right brain, our more intuitive and feeling oriented part of our brains is activated as we sing and we enter into and experience that love in a profound and substantive way. Another way that's contained in those same scriptures that I just mentioned is that when you start thanking God and we open our mouths and we get our thanker going, we start thanking God for the way that he's loved us in this person and in this gift and in that thing and all these different ways that God has loved us, and we start thanking him. And as we thank him, our hearts become more aware of that love, and we marinate in that love, and that love becomes more and more real. Another way that we do that, and both of those passages that I talked about there it's this idea that we do this together, that we do this with others, that we don't just do this by ourselves. And that is that you and I need other people reflecting back to us how loved we are from God, by God, that we're loved by God, and that we need to be able to pray it into each other. I've just hundreds, maybe thousands of times been able to pray over people and pray into them some sort of an experience of God's love, and the Lord has backfilled that whole thing with an experience of his love. That we need these different things and these ways of being able to jump in and keep ourselves in the love of Christ. Thanks for joining me this morning. Reflect on that today. Maybe do that today. God bless you. I love you.